So, why did Abraham sacrifice Isaac? It seems ridiculous at first. A father is asked by God to sacrifice his son. What good father would sacrifice their son for the sake of religion? That sounds pretty awful, doesn't it? Well, this story is not a competition between Abraham's love for God and his love for his son. God is not some jealous girlfriend who says, "Do you really love me? Well, if you love me so much, then you would kill your son." That is not the story. That is a misinterpretation of what's happening. In fact, the story is much, much better than that. Abraham believes that Isaac will be raised from the dead when he is killed, because God had promised that his descendants would be named through Isaac. So, if God was faithful to his promise, God would have to raise Isaac from the dead. And this is exactly what it says in Hebrews. So, God isn't testing Abraham saying, kill your son or else. It's kill your son, I will raise him back up from the dead, and then he will receive the inheritance that was promised to you. Which is very much like the story of Christ, where Christ is sacrificed, and then he's raised from the dead and receives the inheritance of the Father. So, why did Abraham do this? He did it for the sake of his son. He wanted his son to receive the promise that God had given him. Abraham was never going to see all of his descendants. He died way before that ever happened. But his son Isaac had two sons, and they had big, large families. So Isaac was blessed with a very large family due to the obedience of Abraham. And people remember Isaac to this day because of Abraham. So this story is not a story about God being jealous and saying, you can either love your son or love me. It's about saying, if you really love your son, you will believe in me and my promises to raise people from the dead. There you go.